I personally feel Befikri was ahead of its time, and it's still a very special film for me. I will always and always cherish the fact that I got to be part of such a film and play such a well written, fleshed out part. With Ranveer also, I learned a lot, and I observed whatever little that I observed was the fact that he and I do have some similarities in approaching, that method acting, and
Oh,
he's into method acting, and I think I also do lean towards being more in the moment, and trying to like create things for myself so I can feel more connected to my character and do things.
welcome to Speakeasy. My name is Rajani, and I am going to be in conversation with the Sunshine Girl, Vani Kapoor. How have you been doing? It's been a while. We've been in the lockdown. This is the new normal where we're supposed to do interviews like this and everything else. So tell me, now that we are in, like, really, it's been months that we are like this. Where are you?
um I'm just I'm doing great actually. I think I'm okay. I've become very used to it. I told you I was just I'm become so usual. It's become a thing now. Hibernation.
Ah,
But all's well. Everything's good. I'm now trying to snap out of the laze mode and be a little more active. Just I guess re-energize myself in terms of work. Work-related stuff and all, and of course you have household work and everything. But I really feel like I've been one of those few lucky ones, blessed ones to like still have it easier than in comparison to so many other people.
so we all know that war has been like this raging success, everybody. And if you haven't heard Gumru, well, you are probably living under a rock because it's not possible to not know that song today. But Vani, I want to know, how has life been post the success of war?
I'm very, you know, I'm happy that the movie did so well. I mean, I'm happy the song did so well, and now then I moved on to Shamshera, and then we started shooting for that movie. So I'm not like it just gives you a lot of happiness because you've put in that hard work, and then once the project's over, it's out for release. People have given it love, which that's the ultimate goal. You want your work to be appreciated and loved by everybody. So once that happens, then you move on and you start focusing on, okay, what's next, what next. But life's just been the same. Now I'm working
Yeah.
on Shamshera, and then this lockdown happened, and there are a couple of other projects that I'm talking about, which are seeming exciting and interesting. So I'm hoping to start on those, like get something more exciting in my life. Even for a homebody like me, like somebody who enjoys to just be at my own pace, myself. I love my own company, and there's so much. It doesn't drive a person like me that crazy, but I can understand that you always
Yeah.
want, in terms of work and in terms of meeting your friends and family and close ones and all. Of course, we are all humans. We are all like social animals at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that time was also very special for me, war time, and the fact that it did well, and then I bonded with my team so well. We it's just amazing that we still keep in touch. Like all of us, we're still on touch on WhatsApp. We have like a group. I remember Sid was planning a dinner post war because we were all like, yeah, but that like he wanted to do a nice special dinner post war success thing also. And ever since, it's been so many months now. I don't even remember when we started talking about the dinner. So now our group name is only that elusive dinner because I don't know when it's ever going to take place, if it's taking place also or not. So, but yeah, we stay in touch, and it's amazing that like everyone's keeping safe and healthy, and everyone's fine, and so it's amazing that ways. But now I'm hoping once the lockdown opens, then we can like start working on other things.
Yeah, and on that note, I feel like you've been one of the most patient people as well. And
Yeah.
we've discussed this in like a
Learn
really,
patience from me. Yeah.
but you
I'm
have
the
been.
epitome of patience.
You
But
are
yeah.
the epitome of patience. But I
And I
want to
never
understand.
thought, and I'm usually not a very patient person in life. Otherwise, I get very impatient with
Yeah.
things. But it's funny when it comes to bigger decisions of life, I do feel I do feel I have the strength to wait it out, I guess.
You started off, you got such raving reviews with your debut, and then of course there was a wait, and then you wanted Bayfikri to come out, and then you again waited for a while, and then of course with For a War to come out, and in what happens is that people sort of get really demotivated. How was that phase, and how did you sort of keep yourself going, and how did you not want to get into that zone of disdain and despair, which can happen to a lot of people?
I've, I've those decisions are my decisions that I made at the end of the day. I've always told you that it's something that I chose very consciously. Um, you know, I know the truth and I know the reality that how what I exactly want, and I'm very honest to that. I know that I don't want to like compromise in any way. I've always said that, and be it even a 5 minute role in a film, but in a film that gives me happiness, a part that gives me happiness, I'd rather pick that over something where I'm only doing it for the heck of, oh, let me be more visible, let me go make some more money, let me create some more noise, let me be visible. I am working for myself also at the end of the day, for my happiness, for my satisfaction. At the end of the day, when I come home, I want to feel happy about TKR. I've been associated with a film that I wanted to be part of. I've done a part that gave me happiness in whichever way. So that way I think I'm a greedy actor. But I'm happy with my choices because they're my choices and I've consciously made them. And the fact that there are no second doubts about it. I have never regretted it, and I'm very happy. And I guess yes, I would want things to come faster, sooner in my life. I would want to be part of a lot more many films, lot more many projects that never even got offered to me, but other people have done it, and those are the films that I'm like, damn, I wish I could have that, and I wish I could have done that movie, and you know. But if it never came my way, I'm willing to wait it out. I just want good chances, good opportunities. I want to be part of quality work, quality projects. Like I may need a lot of polishing and grilling as an actor, but I know that I have the potential and I have the ability to be at least one of the many who can be part of great cinema, and that's what I'm aiming at. But everybody has their own journey, and all of them are doing so well for themselves, and I feel like I'm also in my own pace. Also success means different things to different people.
Yeah.
I take a lot of pride in my choices, and I take a lot of pride in waiting it out and making the most of the opportunities that came my way, and being fair to the job that's been assigned to me. Like I know in my heart that I've given my all to every part that I've played in a film, and be it small, be it big, be it anything. I have done justice to whatever that's been given to me and assigned to me, and I take that's something that I take a lot of pride in. That I'm not letting my director down. I'm not letting my co-actor down. I'm not letting my team down. So many people who come together to make a project, look good. So I feel that gives me happiness at the end of the day. People who are working with me are happy. I'm happy because I'm happy with the work that I have put in, and yeah, I guess I'm in my own race, a slower race, literally.
And in the same way, you when you put in everything into a project, and of course, like you said, you're always proud of it. But then you read reviews when maybe it's a basic or otherwise, um, that might be critical. How do you view it today?
Well, you can't make everybody now. Everybody can't love you and appreciate you. And there are people, and by that I'm not trying to be all cocky, and I don't mean that. Oh, their review doesn't matter, or people's, because at the end of the day you're making films for the audience, and they need to like you, and they need to be, because they're spending money,
Yeah.
their hard-earned money, and times like these when it's so expensive, one contemplates kaun si movie dekhne cha, because there's so many options
Yeah.
put out there for them, and plus you have the OTT platform, you have so much variety to watch, in the comfort of your home. So I feel, of course, it's them who at the end of the day कि यार ये अच्छा लग रहा है, ये अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, because even I see my movies as an audience. Would I want to go spend that money and watch my film and my work? But you can't always hit it out of the park, and there are times when you will, I guess you will fail at pleasing everybody and you will fail at uh, pleasing most people. But the attempt was genuine and the attempt was right and the attempt was to make a good, lovely film. And that's always an attempt of everybody, whoever, is associated with this line of work. Nobody wants to make an average film and be happy with it. At least I know that the people who I've worked with weren't making a film with the intention ki chal bana lete hain, you know, just for the heck of it. Everybody's putting their heart and soul into it. I think people also became very hot and cold with it. There are people who really liked it, and then there are people who just were like, "Oh no, this is not what we want," and this is not what is seeming normal and correct. So I guess I personally feel Befikre was ahead of its time, and it's still a very very special film for me. I will always and always cherish the fact that I got to be part of such a film and play such a well written, fleshed out part for a girl in a movie. If you don't judge that girl Shaira that I've played, you'll actually learn to understand where she's coming from and who she was in her life, her background story, and she's also all heart. you know so I feel I take a lot of for me it's one of the biggest highlight of my career to be associated with a film like Befikre. And yes, it
Yeah.
didn't get the love that we all wanted it to get, but at the end of the day, chalo, move on now next. I am so critical of myself, I'm so harsh on myself, but then there's another side to me. I think I have a split
Huh.
personality. I think I'm my biggest critic, and even my mother, my family, like everybody in my family, also my mom, my sister, everybody is a big critic for me. Like they'll never sugarcoat it for me ever. And maybe because that's how I've grown up in that surrounding where
Huh.
I've constantly been corrected and constantly been said, "Oh, you could do better. You could do this better. You could do that better." And I also personally feel I've put like a meter in my brain, where there's like, "Oh, I went till here, and let me just, like be even better
Yeah.
than this. Let me do something better." And this, it's just an urge to outdo my own self in a way where I feel I guess more satisfied as an artist, as a in creatively. I feel that okay, I could do better, but I feel I also look at life in a positive way, like you're saying, because there's no other way you can survive. You can't
Yeah.
survive negativity for too long. You can't live
Yeah.
and just there are a lot of people who become too comfortable with it. You also tend to, knowingly or unknowingly, you also become a victim of your own circumstances. I try not to become a victim and self-victimize myself. With the problems or with whatever risks and whatever hurdles that come your way. I think mistakes are inevitable. I can't thrive in negativity. I need to feel more at peace, and that's where the positivity comes in.
Yeah, and I think that you make people around you feel that way also, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think
Um.
it's also,
Yeah.
uh, there's a very good saying, no, that you give and don't remember, and you receive and never forget. So you should just give out positivity. You don't even have to remember and keep an account of how positive am I being. And when you're receiving it, don't forget. Just keep it, like just absorb it.
It's so interesting. We are speaking about Ranveer and Befikre. To that, you go into Shamshera and Ranveer. Both of them extremely talented actors in their own right. But I'm sure they have such diverse style of even when they're on the sets to act, right? How have you dealt with each of their processes and how different it is, and how do you as an actor react to that? Um, Tell me.
Because I was so new and raw as an actor myself. When I went in for Befikre also, I feel like with Ranveer also I learned a lot, and I observed whatever little that I observed was the fact that he and I do have some similarities in approaching, that method acting, and
Oh,
he's into method acting, and I think I also do lean towards being more in the moment, and trying to like create things for myself so I can feel more connected to my character and do things like how I've also heard him say things like where he changes perfumes, when he's changing his characters and stepping in from one film to the other, and small little things like these, becoming a method actor and locking himself or hurting himself or just getting into the skin of the part and just completely giving his all. I feel Ranveer, on the other hand, is so effortless. Like, I feel like, did he even plan and do something for it? Did he even like? I mean, I'm sure he must be working hard, but it just looks so goddamn effortless that I really wonder. I'm like, oh God, I wish I can become something like that, someday. Like, I can do something like what he's doing, because when you see him on screen, he's just magic, and I really, really, and for that matter, even Ritik, he's just so talented. Like, the first time I did readings with him, I was doing readings with Sid, okay, before me and Ritik had our first round of readings, and Sid was also like, okay, let me get her into the character, let me just keep her more, like more prepared, because when she goes to do her readings with Ritik, she should be more prepared. Like, she should we shouldn't be correcting her and trying to fix her, and like we can then sit and jam with Ritik and not like have the headache of bringing Vani on, as the girl that they want on for the film. So I did so many rounds of readings with Sid, and they all went well and everything, and we cracked it pretty soon. But the first time I did it with Ritik, I think the first time he must be doing it with me or in life in general, and he just got it bang on, And he's such a creative actor himself. He's, of course, there's a lot of experience and a lot of, exposure and all of that comes handy, but some true talent out there. Yeah. But I get very inspired. I'm getting to work with the best of the best, and they're really inspiring me in some way or the other.
Have you ever felt intimidated by an actor because he was so good in a scene and then you were like, oh my god, I'm going next? Has that happened to you right now in your career?
I am a very awkward. I can be super awkward, and I think my co-actors might have felt it at some point or the other that, oh, what's wrong with this girl? Why is she acting weird? I'm pretty sure they must have felt it at some point or the other. I think they all have. But I get awkward initially, though, especially. I feel very awkward, and I don't talk much, and I'm just in my own shell, and even when I'm on set, like, Abhi, you're not going there to like crack jokes on set now. Like, and for somebody like me, I have to be in my zone, because I'm into that whole method acting and everything. So I keep it to myself. Now, I don't know if they think, Are, she has too much attitude for what, and I don't know what they think, or I hope to God they don't think, because I mean, offset, like we're good, we have good equation. But I feel like I'm just awkward as a person. I can get very awkward. It's all about somebody else calming me down and giving me the right energy around me, and then I can settle, and then I can be myself. But there are days when I can be awfully quiet and awfully to myself, and just like get like all like in my shell.
Gulabo Sidabo releasing, it's released on OTT. You have Shakuntala Devi. You have more films coming, releasing directly to OTT. Now, of course, the film like Shamshera will, you will hold on to it and you will read. The films that you're doing mainly are for that big screen experience, and Shamshera being that way. But it did affect the schedule that you're planning, right? And it did get shifted further, or and all of that. So I want to know what happened there. How did it affect the film, the current situation, and what is your view on the direct OTT releases as well?
Shamshera is a complete film. I think they were very pretty much like scheduled to come out, and was it's done now. I don't think that there's any. I mean, if there's a patchwork here or there left, that I don't know. But I was done, and I think they're all pretty much like they were ready with it. So luckily we didn't get we're not suffering in terms of shooting for the film, the sked and everything. And like you're saying, answering the second part of the first part of your question, that makers are planning to release it in theaters and not release it on an OTT platform. And I mean, it's completely their call, and the fact that they believe, and I also personally believe, that the fact that it's made for a big, like a big cinema, for a big, it's a big film for a theater experience. It's a very theater experience kind of a movie. So I think one want to stay and do justice to the scale of the film and wait it out, and hopefully things will get normal and they will release it then eventually.
Yeah. Hello, my little friend. Very cute she is.
Did you see my cat?
Yeah, so cute. I love.
I shaved her off. She hates me. She's shaved. Kiki, come.
Hi.
She's naked, literally, off out of hair. Only her face has a little
So
bit.
so cute. When you do a dance sequence with Ritik and Tiger, okay, and Tiger also being
God,
there.
Tiger was not in Gungru. Nobody would see me. Also, I'd be like one of the like after background dancers. You know, there's some extra dancing in the corner. I'd be that. I know.
I don't believe that,
I'm
Vani.
telling you,
Absolutely not.
nobody would have like looked at me. Also, they would have been, why is she even there? I mean, we have a Tiger, and we have a Ritik. Why is she even dancing?
Okay, now tell me, okay, after especially with people like this, now when you have to do any dance sequence, does it look superbly easy? Because I know how you drove yourself crazy, right? Which you told me about. But tell me now, when you pose this, is there a remembrance saying, I had done that, so now this one's looking easy for me? Does this
I feel
happen to you?
amazing that I got to like shake a leg, you know, like just grew a little bit with Ritik. I feel amazing. I feel great about that. Um that time, yes, I was sweating. I was sweating. My armpits were sweaty, and I was like, I can't, I can't. Like I was getting a panic attack. I think almost because I was like, oh, how am I going to pull this off with him? Who like how am I going to do this? I'm never gonna look good. I'm not never gonna look half as good as him. But I feel amazing now that like I got that opportunity. Now maybe next time if I'm lucky enough to get another film with him ever, and we get to like dance, I'll be a lot more confident, a lot more prepared. Now I'll be a lot more like I'll put in extra hard work and do something hopefully better than what I did in Hulu.
In the beginning, I was talking about how Vani is this queen of patience and like absolute serenity when it
Yeah,
has to
patience
be.
dripping all over me. Like I'm dripping patience.
But it also sort of reflects in the way you handle the social media trolls, and I think that's credible. You
Do you
know,
like my
I,
social?
I,
I talk about social media.
yeah,
I,
social
I don't
media.
think I
I
so
think you handle your social media trolls really
or like that.
well, because
Yeah.
it can bother you, but then you choose to give them back with love and sometimes with a little bit of sass, which I think is so cool. Like the recent session, someone said something mean, and then you responded with saying that my love to you, and you are beautiful inside out, and things like that,
Yeah.
which I think is amazing. Where how do you is this also been a journey for you, like coming to this realization from where you feel like reacting to these people, nameless people
Yeah.
existing out there, and to today where you respond with this kind of positivity?
I feel we all are most of us are so unaware of our own self, and we don't value ourselves enough, and we don't have love for ourselves enough to be able to give that love out and be able to you know have the dignity to appreciate other people for who they are. We don't have that. We Most of us, like all of us, and I feel it's a very conscious decision that we all need to take, for ourselves. I feel like um, it's consciously making yourself aware and choosing what thought do you want to lean towards. We all have good and bad in ourselves. Like I'm not a saint, nor am I a devil, but we all have gray shades. It's not, and that person who even wrote that negative something has nothing to do with me. He doesn't know me personally. He doesn't know me from Adams. I don't know this person. There's no personal hate. You know,
Mm.
it's just something that person might just be feeling in a certain mood, in a certain zone, or being just nasty, so cool, or being nasty is the easy way out. It's so I guess. There's no point in me giving them hate, because I have a feeling that they themselves are hating themselves for who they are, their life, or they feel like, oh, this sucks in my life and that sucks in my life, and why does this person have, get to do this, or why does that? I feel it's all about lack of self worth, and I wouldn't want to put more burden on that person and make them feel even miserable. I feel people in general, they criticize each and everybody, and hate towards this, hate towards that, hate towards women, hate towards everything. So I feel like it's just a perception that we all need to work towards, and be okay for a good change. Like I feel like I mean, yes, there are women who get targeted. As an actor, I feel like we all get targeted for our bodies and this and that, and for the way we look, and you know, but yeah, you just can't. You have no control over these people. You know, you have control over yourself. The more people decide to, just not like put too much thought into what others think, and then continue doing what you're doing, and make a change, bring a change, bring a physical change in the environment, the sooner people will start to accept it.
There was this fleeting information that you might be doing bell bottom. Now, I don't know if that is true in any way with Akshay. Is it?
I can't talk about any film that I'm part of if it's not been officially announced. That's the thing. So I feel like whatever next that I'm doing after Shamshera, I'm hoping the producers or the whoever I'm going to get next associated with, they'll make an official statement, official announcement for whatever project that I'm going to do next. He's the most disciplined, I believe. Like, he's the most disciplined in the industry. Like, wakes up on time, sleeps on time, eats only healthy, and all of that. It's wow, that's amazing.
But I think
if I become like him, I'll attain nirvana. I think I'll be.
thank you so much, Vani. It's
Thank
always
you.
lovely chatting with you. Lots of love and positivity right across to you, and more power to you.
Thank you.
Watch eTown News Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. only on Zoom.